Hey everyone, this is J-Dog, and I'm here with another video. I meant to do this kind of video a while back, and I ended up not doing it, but I'm going to do it now anyway. Since Kamala Harris has been picked as the VP, these bootlicks are trying to defend Kamala Harris's poor and disturbing record. And then they're accusing us that we're doing a black purity test. But first of all, Kamala Harris, even if she has some black in her, she's only acknowledged her blackness because she wants our votes. She knows that the Democratic's #1 base is black women in particular, or black people over a whole. But I have to admit, when it comes to black people in the Democrat Party, it's black women who are the biggest base of the voting bloc, because we're on us as black men, we're only half of that big giant black voting bloc. We're only half. The majority of that voting bloc is black women. I'm going to admit that. And even black women are not falling for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has always identified as biracial or Indian because of her mother's heritage. And she has a history of attacking black people, including especially black women. Kamala Harris attacked black women by putting in a truancy law that allows parents to be arrested by the police just because the kid skipped school, even though the parent had no knowledge of the kid skipping school, and even though the parent was not responsible for why the kid was able to skip school. Now, black men were attacked by Kamala Harris by not Oscar Grant not getting justice, and enforcing some of the laws of the crime bill that locked up tons of black people for even small bags of weed. That's the record of Kamala Harris, and this is why a lot of black people do not trust Kamala Harris. Black men and black women. Kamala Harris, even though from a Jamaican, and then they say that she's an African American woman. Well, first of all, the term that is foundational black America, like myself, except Kamala Harris is not a foundational black America. She's not a descendant of black slaves here in the United States of America. No, she is of Jamaican descendants, and I also heard that she comes from a family, some of her ancestry comes from a family that actually owned slaves in Jamaica. Which, by the way, Jamaica is where her father is from. And she doesn't even get along with her father. She only gets along with her mother. Just wanted to bring up that. But you have bowling ball Porky Martin right here, who's also not a foundational black American. Notice that majority of these individuals who's defending Kamala Harris, and this is not a dig at foreign-born blacks or non-foundational black Americans. This is not a dig on all foreign-born blacks. But I'm starting to notice that especially a lot of the Caribbeans, the ignorant ones, the ones that hate foundational black Americans, not all of them, because there are a lot of subscribers who are foreign-born blacks that appreciate my channel, but the ones who hate foundational black Americans, notice they are the ones that are defending Kamala Harris the heaviest, and that includes your Porky Martins, like the man you're seeing on the screen. So I'm going to play a little bit of this video from one of his segments on his news show on YouTube, where he's talking about this, that we're stuck on stupid, when the only one who's stuck on stupid is Porky Martin, him and his lackeys. But here's the video. I'll leave the link to the video. It's from I'll leave the link to the video in the description box. It's a YouTube video. I'll leave a link to the description. So here it is.
Robert, because if we really want to.
Sorry about that. Hold on. I'm gonna start all over.
Go there. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. One daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real.
No, you do not. First of all, we're not going to support your show, Porky Martin, and you do not keep it real and keep it black. That is a lie right there. He's already lying in his promos.
As Roland Martin Unfiltered, support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. I'm looking at all of these people who are trashing Senator Kamala Harris.
You mean speaking truth about her horrible record and her anti-foundational black America? She's even anti-foreign-born blacks too, by the way. I forgot to mention that. She's anti-foreign-born blacks too. And when she talks about immigration, she's only speaking of the non-black immigrants. So she's anti-foreign-born black too. Anything to run away from her blackness, but only uses it when she's trying to benefit her. And here he is about to make a rant. Black voters matter. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. You know what? I'm just gonna play this video.
She's not African American. She's not from here.
Well, half of that is true, or at least most of it. It's true. Jamaicans don't call themselves African Americans. They'll call them maybe Jamaican Americans or blacks of Jamaican heritage, but they're not African American. Well, here's the thing. We now call it foundational black American now. I wonder if Roland knows about that, or Porky knows about that. That we actually now, who are descendants of slaves, we now call ourselves foundational black Americans. Alright? But yes, because you gotta remember, Jamaicans, those of Jamaican heritage don't come from African. And why are you calling those of Jamaican heritage African Americans when they're not from Africa, but they're from Jamaica? Jamaicans want to be called by their heritage of where they're cut from, which is Jamaica. And that's what Kamala Harris is. She is half Jamaican, by the way, and her other nationality is of Indian descent. So that's why they also call her Indian American or even Asian America, because India is a nation that is part of the Asian continent. So yes, that is why a lot of people say she's not African American, because she is not a descendant of the African continent, and she is not a descendant of black slaves here in America. Now let's continue.
That was a black woman. Kamala Harris is a black woman.
She is only 20% black. Because by the way, her father is half black and half white. Her mother is 100% native Indian. So yeah, her appearance looks that of a black woman. And yes, society, the racist society here in America, will identify her as black American, or just black, just by her appearance. But that is not her actual nationality. She's only half black. She's technically biracial, but we know how society will treat Kamala Harris.
Shirley Chisholm, her dad, born in British Guyana, mama, in Barbados.
Shirley Chisholm was more of, is 100% black and was mostly for her people, or at least I think I'll have to do more research, but she was more for her people than Kamala Harris was. Shirley Chisholm was not going around making policies to have people locked up for their kids skipping school.
Harris, daddy in Jamaica, mama from India.
Who she don't get along with, by the way. You've forgotten that Kamala Harris does not really get along with her father like she does with her mother.
What I find to be very interesting is that I honestly see people, you can't compare Harris to Chisholm. Well,
you can't. All right, stupid. You really can't.
Chisholm was only in Congress 3 years before she announced she ran for president. Harris was in Congress, in the Senate, for 2 years before she ran for president.
That does not mean anything.
President of the United States. So all these people.
Notice that he's not talking about her record when she was in the Senate and when she was a prosecutor and when she was an assistant for a San Francisco mayor. All right? It's not about her position. It's not about whether she was a senator or in the Congress. It's what she did when she was in the Congress. That's what we're pissed off about. We're pissed off about what she did with her position and what she did not do with her position. That is why we are angry at Kamala. Because we'll support biracials. We will support other non-black. We will support non-blacks. Yeah, we as black people would support non-blacks too, as long as they're doing policies that is going to benefit and help black people, and as long as they're not racist against black people. We would support even non-blacks. But you see, Roland Martin, he, like I said before, he is defending Kamala Harris. Oh, and also Roland Porky Martin is a shield for the Democratic Party, along with some of these other individuals right here. He's a shield for the Democrats. That's why he is a Sambo and a sellout associated with the Democrats. That's why he is completely, heavily defending Kamala Harris. And let's continue.
People, are they judging Shirley Chisholm on those 3 years, or are they judging her on the years after she ran for president? See, that to me is what I find interesting when you really start debating these people. And they start, like, I got somebody sitting here going, oh, she's not a black woman. So are we now saying that, oh, well, because Kamala Harris, mama is Indian, well then, oh my goodness, she's not black, but Obama's mama was white, and oh my goodness, but he's not black. The people who are engaged in this, Julian, are stuck on stupid, and the reality.
The only one who's actually stuck on stupid is you, Porky. You're the one that's stuck. Let me tell you something. We're not judging Chisholm's record because, like I said before, I never, or at least I'm not, because I never heard of any policies by Chisholm that was destructive towards black people. If there was, yeah, then I would judge her. Write down in the comment section if there was any policies by Chisholm that was a destructive to black people. Put that in the comment section so I would know, and then I will have a reason to judge Chisholm. But as of right now, because I really only know Chisholm for the fact that she was among the first black people to run for president and was among the first black people to be in Congress, I don't know really much. So, no, I'm not going to judge Chisholm right away because I don't know much about her record. But I do know a lot about Kamala Harris's record. And it's not good. That's why I'm judging. The record. It's about the record. The record, not the person. It's a little bit about the person, but it's what the record of the person. Actions speak louder than words or appearances.
We got Biden, Harris, Trump, Pence. This is real simple. Which one of these y'all want, fools? Which one y'all want?
To tell you the truth, we want neither. Yeah, one might be less evil than the other. The problem is the key word is evil. When are we going to have someone who is actually a greater good? A lot of people, not just black people, but a lot of people, white, Hispanic, Asians, people of Jewish, Christian, Muslim faith, heterosexuals, and even LGBT are sick and tired of picking the less of two evils. They want the greater good. Neither are the greater good.
It's going to be Biden, Harris or Trump, Pence.
You know, Roland, Reverend William Barber has a concept he calls a blood test, where he says that you have to take a blood test to see who is closer to you in terms of ideology.
This woman, by the way, is Julian Malek's PhD. See, I hate when some of these smart people are too smart for their own good. Let's continue.
Philosophy. So he tells it in a kind of a gross way. He says, lady has a baby, and if you take a blood test and it's 15% match, that ain't his baby. But if it's 80% match, that's his baby. That's your kinfolk. Kamala Harris is our kinfolk. We don't agree with her on everything. This is such an astounding.
You see her as kinfolk, but she doesn't see you as that.
Nomination, astounding opportunity, and all these haterators, that's not a word, but all these haterators, they just go sit down. Would you rather have Trump, Pence? Do you know that 100 and...
The records of all four individuals have been very detrimental to black people. So it doesn't really matter. One is softcore racist towards black people. The other one is hardcore racist towards black people. Either way, we're going to have hardcore racism to attack black people. Alright? Both are bad, no matter what.
Environmental regulations have been turned back because of Trump, Pence. That labor regulations have been turned back because of Trump, Pence. Do you know that Kamala Harris has, as Joe Biden said, been a fighter for the little people? No, she's not perfect, but who is? I think that people are holding her to a ridiculously high standard, and I'm not sure why, but I love that you played the Shirley Chisholm clip because it reminds us, absolutely reminds us, first of all, of the audacity of black women, the capacity of black women, and the fact that Kamala Harris stands on a long line of black women who have been politically engaged.
See, again, I just want to sit here and break this thing down, Robert. I just want to really break this thing down because I'm all about, over the next 82 days, exposing as much white stupidity as I am black stupidity. And so when I listen to the people...
Sorry about that. I'm going to go back. I hit something wrong, so I'm going to come back real quick. Alright.
Mosby can never run for higher office. What are we saying, Kim?
What my plan is and what my policy is going to be to improve the lives of
black women. And the fact that...
I apologize for that. So I had to go back because I hit something wrong.
Kamala Harris stands on a long line of black women who have been politically engaged.
See, again, I just want to sit here and break this thing down, Robert. I just want to really break this thing down because I'm all about, over the next 82 days, exposing as much white stupidity as I am black stupidity. And
I only see the stupidity is these people up here. That's the stupidity I actually see right now.
So when I listen to the people, I listen to all this stuff, and again, I hear the critics and they throwing all kind of stuff out. Oh my goodness, and she ain't this, and she hate black people, and all this sort of stuff. All I want to know is what you got, and not only that, what are you really saying? Because if y'all want to have this whole well, we don't know, you ain't really from here. Why don't these fake conscious ass people stop holding up Stokely Carmichael?
You know what? Now he's attacking the new black media. See, that's why now he's bringing up Stokely Carmichael. Yeah, we know he's not from here. Just like Marcus Garvey is not from right here. But the difference is those two individuals were for our people. You know, let's play this video.
Michael. Who was from here? Parents weren't from here. See,
like I said before, Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture, was actually for his people. He was fighting black power. He believed in Pan-Africanism. He actually was fighting for the black people, and he was proud of his black heritage, as well as the African diaspora. Same with Marcus Garvey. He's from Jamaica, just like Kamala's heritage. Marcus Garvey, he believed in Pan-Africanism. He was fighting for black people. Alright? That's why we celebrate those two individuals. Yes, we know they're immigrants. But they acknowledged that here in America, they would be identified as black and was willing to bring the diaspora together. Black Caribbeans, black Americans, Africans, black Europeans, black Canadians. He believed in Pan-African. He believed in a collective black diaspora. Marcus Garvey and Stokely Carmichael. That's why here in America, we celebrate those two immigrants. Stokely Carmichael, aka Kwame Ture, and Marcus Garvey, because they were actually fighting for black people as an entire diaspora. Kamala Harris has fought against black people. She has helped with the injustice system that's locked innocent black people up. She withheld evidence that could have freed an innocent black man. She did not help give justice to Oscar Grant, but helped the cop who shot Oscar Grant get away with it. Her policies and her actions were against black people. That's why we go against Kamala Harris and not Stokely. This is why we do not go against Stokely Carmichael, because he was actually doing things to help black people. Kamala Harris was doing things to destroy and harm black people. Stokely Carmichael was helping. Kamala Harris was hurting. Let's continue.
That's my deal, Robert, because if we really want to go there, it's a whole bunch of black people in American history who contributed mightily to what's happening with black people and African Americans who are immigrants or the children of immigrants. See, if they really want to go there, let's go.
Well, Roland, as the son of an immigrant myself, I think that the purity test as the child of an immigrant from Haiti.
So this is Robert Pello II. He's executive director of this Rainbow Push Coalition's Peachtree Street Project. I don't know what that is. I do not know what that is, so I'm not going to assume what it is because I don't know what it is either. But let's hear from him.
And myself, I think the black purity test is a quick sonic journey, is a self-eating issue. But I do think that what Democrats do have to do, Vice President Biden and Senator Harris, over the next 80 days, is address all issues. Because let's understand, there are no bad issues in politics. that if you want these people to vote, then you have to prove through policy that it does not matter what my parentage is. What matters is what I'm going to do for the African American community, what I'm going to do for the descendants of slavery, what my plan is, and what my policy is going to be to improve the lives of African American men in this country. We want somebody just based on being pure black, diamond and silk, or black and from the South.
Now he actually got a point. I'm starting to like a little bit of what he's saying. Or maybe more of it than you think. But he actually is right. He actually is right. But we're going to continue.
South. I don't think anybody wants them to be the Democratic nominee for vice president. But what has to happen is there is an enthusiasm gap in this race. There are questions that were not answered during the primary, the same way that works to their benefit and not being able to define the candidates. There's also a detriment to it because there are people who do not know where both these candidates stand on important issues in the African American community. That is the duty of the candidate who is trying to get those votes that, to prove and to explain to the American people what exactly they stand for. Because all that happens if you call names, if you say they're stupid, this, that, and the other, you're just driving down turnout. They were going to need all hands on deck in order to win this election. Do not believe the polls. The polls are not going to track the people who are dipping in and out of politics and only vote in presidential election years. And every point that we dip below what the turnout numbers were for Obama in 2012 is another 2 points for Trump because his base is going to turn out. So we can't just dismiss offhand criticisms. We have to be able to address them, and the candidates are going to have to put some work and put some money in to addressing these issues. Send somebody on your show. Buy ad time on Black media. Make sure that you are pushing your agenda so that the people who need to hear it hear it.
Now he is absolutely correct. This person, he is actually on point. He even low key called out Roland on calling people stupid just because we're not going to support Kamala Harris. Yes, as a candidate, even if we hate you, we will only support you if you are going to do tangible benefits that's going to help our community. If you're going to create policies that is going to help our community, that is when we're going to, because even if we hate you, as long as you're doing stuff that's going to actually help our people, that's the only time we will support you, is if you're going to do stuff that's going to help our people. If you're not going to do anything that's going to help our people, then we're not going to support you. If you have track records that have the history of harming people, and then you don't want to apologize, you don't want to you don't want to apologize for it, you don't want to repent for your sins and stuff like that, then that's another reason why we're not going to help you. But he is right on point. He also said he's an immigrant, but I agree with almost everything that he said. Not going around calling people stupid because we're not going to support Kamala. Yeah, all that's going to do is that's going to make us support her even way less than we already support her. All right, Rolly, Porky Martin.
Here's what I find this to be interesting here, Scott. I got some fool tweet me, sending me on Twitter. He said, Stokely wasn't a cop. All right, let's just go ahead.
You know, I can't watch any more of this. And it's a very long video. It's like, so I'm not gonna play the whole thing. But if you want to hear the whole thing, I will leave the link to it in the comment section and description box. If you want to listen to the whole thing, that was just the only few things I wanted to show you in this video. I know it's a very long video, but that was just the bits and pieces that I wanted to bring up. We're probably not going to hear everyone in this video, but like I said, if you want to watch the whole video, and especially if you're a content creator, you want to create your own video on this, or create a video on my video, talk about this, like I said, I'll leave the link to this entire video in its entirety in the description box and the comment section. But yeah, once again, Roland Martin is attacking new black media and attacking people because he's nothing more than a shield to the Democrat Party. He thinks he's smart, but he's not. If he actually reads the track record and actually tells the truth on why people are not digging Biden and Kamala Harris, because remember, Joe Biden created the crime bill. That's why, and I don't know, and yeah, he got chosen by President Obama. I bet you the reason why Obama picked Biden was because the other Democrats told him to pick Biden. Because if Obama saw that track record and was really concerned about black people, he would not have picked Biden for vice president. But that's the thing. The 3-strike law, which actually Clinton added, that was part of the crime bill. But yeah, the crime bill was created by Joe Biden. Kamala Harris was a prosecutor during the time of the crime bill, and she enforced that crime bill to the teeth on black people, even especially innocent black people who did no crimes. And this is why we do not support Biden and Kamala Harris. Of course, we're not going to support Trump. We all know that Trump and Pence are racist and stuff like that. But it's not all the racism but Trump and them is not committing all the racism. All the Republicans are not the only ones who are racist towards black people. There are a lot of Democrats who are racist towards black people, but hide their racism. But that's all I have to say about this. Porky Martin needs to shut up sometimes. He needs to go to a corner somewhere and just shut up sometimes, because he's pissing off a lot of people. And that's why people need to not support his YouTube channel. He is getting, the only reason why he has that YouTube channel because the mainstream media had no use for him anymore, so they fired him. CNN got rid of him. MSNBC only invited him a few times, and then they're trying to limit that many times. even TV1 got rid of him. And he had his own show on that platform. But even they got rid of him. So he's now stuck. I mean, yes, it's a good thing that he's creating his own platform, but deep down, he's just trying to get another job back in mainstream media. He doesn't really care about he's forced to create his own platform because he got kicked out of CNN and MSNBC and TV1 and stuff like that. He's forced to. He feels like he really does not want to be there. He really wants to be back in mainstream media. That's why he still acts the way he acts. Meanwhile, here in the new black media, even though I'm just a regular, I don't call myself a news outlet. I'm just a guy who just wants to looks at topics and want to bring out my own opinion on certain topics. But the new black media, the new black media is all about being its own entity away from mainstream media. We're not trying to be associated. The new black media is not trying to be associated with mainstream media. New black media wants to be its own media, create its own rules. But like I said, your Porky Martins just wants to find a way to get back to mainstream media. And this is the only way he believes that could help him. And that's also why he hopes the Democrats win, because he could say that he influenced the more people to vote for the Democrats to help the Democrats win. Those mainstream media outlets that support Democrats he hopes that they will invite him back in. But that's all I have to say about this piece of garbage, Porky Martin. Yeah, I know it's a very long video, but it needs to be talked about. But I'll leave a link. Like I said, I'll leave a link to this so you can watch it in its entirety. I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. Be careful how you write comments if you're watching this on YouTube, because the YouTube policies will remove comments. Now, I've been having a lot of problems with people's comments being removed, but it's not by me. Now, if you're trolling, then I will remove your comments. But if I'm not, if I like your comment, but it's been deleted, it is mostly because YouTube does not like the comment. But still, I want to know what y'all think in the comment section. Make sure you like, share this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit that notification bell. But that's all I have to say. Also, I'll leave links to my different accounts, YouTube, Black Junction, etc. But that's all I have to say about this situation. This is J-Dog. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch y'all in another video. Peace, everyone.